Hey there, Taylor Ellwood, and welcome to another Behind the Scenes with Imagine Your Reality Fiction. Want to share a quick update with you. Learning How to Fly is going to be out in August. I'm in the process of, I've gotten all the layout done and everything else. I'm just in the process of really figuring out the launch component for the book, just because it's the first time I'm launching fiction. So, yeah, that's what's happening with that. But I'm really excited. Learning How to Fly will be out in August. So, my first fiction book. Yay. Today, what I wanted to do was talk about how I communicate with the characters of my books and how they help me write the books that I write. And it's interesting because right now I'm working on the Zombie Apocalypse Call Center. I'm kind of doing a revision of it. I, I I liked where the overall story was going, but there was part of me that didn't like where the story was going, and part of this came about where basically the characters themselves kind of said to me, this isn't the right story. Like you've got part of it right, but you need to stop writing and you need to go back and revisit the first, you know, 18 chapters and redo them before you continue any further. Because I'd hit a point with chapter 19 where I was just like, it's not going any further. And each of the characters, made themselves known to me. This may seem a little strange. You might be thinking to yourself, like, what is he talking about? His characters communicating with him? Like, what is that about? Well, I would say that for me, my characters definitely are living beings. If nothing else, they're beings that speak to me in my mind as I'm writing. They have stories that want to be told. They want to express themselves, and they want to be heard. And they ultimately want to be made manifest into a written book that people can read. And so that way those people can experience them. And so for me, when I'm writing a book, it feels like I'm always in this dialogue with the characters. They're talking to me as I'm writing, and they're it's like they're on my shoulders. You have the stereotypical image of like the little devil, little angel, kind of like that. Um, but they're on my shoulders and they're telling me, this is what I would say, or this is what I would do. And it's this interesting flow state with them, where I'm writing about them and I'm very much interacting with them and becoming part of their reality, in one sense, because they're allowing me to peek over their shoulders into the experiences that they're having. So in the case of Sam, who's the protagonist of the Zombie Apocalypse Call Center, he's walking me through his infiltration to a facility in order to find out what might be the real cause of the zombie apocalypse, as an example. A little spoiler alert there too, I suppose, but hey, don't worry, I haven't given anything away beyond the fact that he's infiltrating someplace. Um, but it's one of those cases where I come up with these stories, and they speak to me. The very first story I wrote, which you can actually get at the link I've included in the video description, um, is actually the story about these three fish. And it came about because a long time ago, I was talking with this person, and she was telling me about how her fish just up and died after she'd painted a flower on the thing. And it was like those fish spoke to me all of a sudden, like they came alive, and they had a story to tell about why and what happened. And so I wrote that story, and somewhat of a whimsical and yet horrific story at the end, um, because I was listening to them and I was communicating with them and I was letting them speak to me and through me and allowing that to bring itself out into my writing of the story. And the same thing is the case with Learning How to Fly. The character of the Nelson, the protagonist, of course, has certainly spoken to me, but so have the other characters, Simon the empath, Merle the ex-girlfriend, etc. They've all had their own voices and presences in my mind, their own thoughts and things like that. Even the minor characters in my work all have something to say or share or express. It might only be there for a few moments, but for me, they're living beings that are speaking through me into my writing. And so I've got to be receptive and open to them. So when I'm writing, I'm very much focused on this state of awareness where I'm really connecting with them as real, living, breathing people that have something to share. And I just happen to be the medium that's expressing that in writing. And hopefully doing a good job of it. I mean, I guess we'll find that out next month when you guys get a chance to access my first book. But it's one of those things that's really exciting to me because it's a way to share these characters' lives and their experiences and their adventures. And really, I'm just a gateway for that in a very real sense. You know, I'm a medium for it. And by allowing them to have that presence in space, and by truly opening myself up to them and letting them speak through me and write through me, I'm able to come up with the stuff that I'm coming up with fiction-wise. And there's a lot of other characters out there you haven't even met yet that I have, you know, kind of eager to come forward and share their stories. Some of them I've written about, but I've never published the writing, and so I'm looking forward to revisiting with them. And some of them are just new ones that, you know, they're like, hey, when's it my turn? And I promise it'll be their turn soon. But right now it's Nelson's turn and Sam's turn, and that's going to be the first two series that I'm going to really work on is the learning how to be a hero series, and then the other one I think is just going to be the call center series or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to figure out a catchy name for that one. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on with that, and I just wanted to share that with you today in this behind the scenes video. Feel free to post questions or comments or anything else, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care.